What's up, guys? It's EcBoy from TeamCalamity. The Number Hunters set just came out, and I bothered looking through everything in the set just to see if there was anything worth picking up. And this video is just going to be me discussing what I think is worth taking a look at. And there are a handful of things that I saw that you might want to pick up. So yeah, let's get started. Firstly, not that. Overlay capture. The effect is a target one Xyz monster your opponent controls that has an Xyz material, and one Xyz monster you control. Detach all Xyz materials from your opponent's monster, and attach this card to your Xyz monster as an Xyz material. So, although this isn't necessarily that good now, the reason why I think it's pretty cool is because it's a good potential side deck card in case the game gets to a point where you have Xyz monsters that gain certain effects by having Xyz materials attached to them. An example being Ophion. I mean, you'll never really have Ophion mirror matches wanting to steal each other's materials, because Ophion's effect of preventing level 5 or higher monsters being special summoned doesn't affect the mirror match. But you can understand an example of something like that. Say that there's an Xyz with some kind of effect that locks one of the players down, and it's a mirror match situation, or even your opponent just has an annoying Xyz that you want to get rid of its material for so it can't use its effect. This is pretty decent. So yeah, just keep an eye on it. It depends on what future releases come out, but it may become useful. Then this, I mean, you're never going to summon it really at the moment. 2 level 6 spellcaster type monsters. But it's just a Xian. Like, during either player's turn where your opponent activates a spell trap card, you can attach an Xyz material to negate the activation if you do destroy it. It has no use now, really, outside of the Reaper Prophecy or whatever. But it's something to keep an eye out for, because it has a good effect, and it may become good at some point. Then you have the Chaos Xyz Simon the Great Moral Leader. This is 3 level 7s with the continuous effect. This card is unaffected by other monster effects, and then it gains an extra effect if you have the previous card as an Xyz material, which is once per turn. During the player's turn, you can attach one Xyz material from this card. The target monster your opponent controls, change the spell's position. If you do, negate its effect till the end of the turn. But that's irrelevant. The reason why this is worth noting is because it's 3 level 7s. So it can be used in Chaos Dragons. And if you're thinking, why would you use this in Chaos Dragons? The thing is, it's really easy to summon. Like, Chaos Dragons can easily put 3 monsters on the board. But the main reason why is because it is actually really good in the mirror match. Because firstly, it has the effect, this card is unaffected by other monster effects. So your opponent can't Big Eye it, they can't Draco Sack it. So it's going to stick around. I mean, really the only out is Dark Hole, or Book of Moon, if they play either of those. And the other important thing is that it has 3000 attack, and that's really difficult to get over in Chaos Dragons. I mean, no one really runs Red Dragon Arcfiend in the extra deck, and I mean, Colossal would be at 3k in the mirror match because there are virtually no warriors that are ran in the deck. So I think this is worth picking up if you're a Chaos Dragon player, just because, say you go for an OTK and they Swift Scarecrow you or something, just go into this and there's really, like, there's very little that they can do to clear this. And unlike Obelisk, which you have to main deck, this is just an extra deck card. So you could easily just put this in the extra deck. And yeah, it's actually pretty legit in that deck. So yeah. Then Comics Hero King Arthur. This is 2 level 4 warrior type monsters. If this card would be destroyed by battle, you can detach one exceeds material from this card instead. What do you do? It gains 500 attack and inflict 500 to your opponent. Um, Basically, it's a wall that they won't really want to attack into. So if you're like a hero player or something, then I would think about just putting this in the extra, because it's kind of it's a similar type of thing to Blade Armor and Excalibur, but at the same time it's something a little different because this is more defensive. It's more like you just drop this and then they can't really run it over, um, and if they do, then you know it gets stronger and you burn them a little bit, which is a different dynamic to Blade Armor and Excalibur, which is very kind of like big push OTK orientated. So yeah. Then Sky Palace Gangaradai, whatever it's called. 2 level 10 monsters. You can detach one exceeds material from this card and target what card your opponent controls. Destroy that target. If you do, inflict 1000 damage to your opponent. You can only use the effect once per turn, and it can't attack the turn you activate this effect. It isn't as good as whatever it's called. Wow, I can't even remember the name of the thing. Gustav Max, that's it. It isn't as good as Gustav Max, but in places outside of America, we don't have access to Gustav Max at the moment, which is currently the only level 10 Xyz. Sorry, level 10. Rank 10 Xyz, I think. And this isn't as good, but it isn't terrible, I guess. So if you're into rank 10s, then you might want to check this out. Then this, I don't know about the Butter Spy archetype. I haven't looked into it, but it has a decent effect. This guy, you can attach one exceeds material, return all once on the field to the hand, and inflict 300 for each card returned to the hand. So unfortunately, this would have to return itself, but I mean, it's just one of those like burn effects to clinch the game, I guess. It depends on the archetype and how good it is. I haven't looked into it. Then you get Box of Friends, which has gotten a lot of hype. This is probably like pricey, and I mean it isn't even that pricey, but it's pricey compared to the things in this set. It probably is pricey just because it looks nice, really. I mean, with this whole Box of Friends thing, it's just cute, and people go for that. Its effect is, if this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon from your deck 2 normal monsters with different names. Its attack or defense is 0 in face-up defense position. You can only use the effect of Box of Friends once per turn. Monsters special summoned by this effect cannot be used to sync material monster. Also, they are destroyed during your next end phase. So, it's like a worse Rescue Rabbit, really. I saw some people comparing the two. Like, you can't really compare the two. Rabbit is a lot more proactive. It's a completely different kind of dynamic, but this is okay. I mean, it's not bad. You just get 2 normal monsters and use them as exceeds material. I don't know every normal monster with 0 attack or 0 defense, but there's probably something worth noting. And I mean, it isn't level restricted, unlike Rabbit, so that's okay, I guess. You could go into higher ranks. I could just imagine like a slower environment, this potentially being pretty good, but I mean, I doubt that Yu-Gi-Oh is going to be so slow where you could just go like set 1 and they summon a guy, attack over it for this to be good. But it's worth noting. I have one of these. It's pretty cool. Then you have Princess Cologne. And this is building upon Box of Friends. Its effect is when this card is exceeds summoned, you can target one Box of Friends in the graveyard, special summon that target. If you control another monster, your opponent cannot target this card with cards, effects, or for attacks. If a face-up normal monster you control is destroyed by battle or by card effect sent to the graveyard, you can detach one exceeds material from this card, special summon one normal monster from your deck or graveyard in face-up defense position. And it's 2 level 4 monsters. So, I guess the idea of this is Box of Friends dies, you get 2 level 4s, you overlay into this, then use this to get the Box of Friends, and they have to attack the Box of Friends, and then you just keep going like that. I think if you have 2 of these, then that's like an infinite lock of some sort as well. Um, so yeah, it's pretty annoying. Um, it's not terrible on its own, I guess. Um, it has pretty poor stats, but the point is that it just sits there. The opponent has to clear something else before it can go for it. And the normal monster thing is pretty good, I guess. Um, yeah, so it's not bad. Again, people will pick it up because it looks cute. And then Zombow is also support for a box of friends. When it declares an attack, it gains 500 attack. If this card in the field is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon level 1 monster with 0 attack and defense from your deck. Its effects are negated. Also, it is destroyed during your next end phase. So if you're into this box of friends stuff, then you might want to give this a look. It can get a few things from the deck actually, like effect veiler and stuff like that. So keep that in mind. Then Stoic Challenge. This is pretty cool. Its effect is you can only control one Stoic Challenge, equipped only to a face-up Xyz monster that has Xyz material. You gain 600 attack for each Xyz material attached to once you control, and any battle damage your opponent takes from battles involving it and their monster is doubled. But its effects cannot be activated during your opponent's end phase. Send this card to the graveyard. When this card leaves the field, destroy the equipped monster. So this is just one of those cards that opens up random OTKs that like shouldn't otherwise exist. I mean, I can't think of anything particularly stupid off the top of my head. I know that, like, say if you're playing Constellars, then you could go like into a Constellar Xyz, then Ptolemy, then Gaia Dragon, and equip it with this, and you'll have a 5,000 attack Gaia Dragon that has double battle damage. And also, I guess Blade Armor Ninja can do some cool stuff, but I don't know. The reason why I say this is because, like, it's just one of those cards that is screaming to be abused. It's just like waiting for something to come and abuse it. So, I mean, these are still cheap at the moment, so you can probably pick them up. It's actually pretty decent in Constellars as well, because of the latter part, when this card leaves the field, destroy the equipped monster. So you could actually equip it to an opponent's monster and then use Ptolemy to bounce it back, and then it would kill that thing, which is alright. But yeah, I would say keep an eye out on it. There might be something stupid that would break it. Then Heraldry Record. This is actually really good. It's a counter trap. When an effect of your opponent's Xyz monster is activated by detaching some material, negate the activation if you do destroy it. So, I mean, like, pretty much every Xyz activates an effect by detaching its own material. You look at Dracosac, Big Eye, Ophion, Ptolemy, just everything really. So this counts as all of that. So I'm not sure if it's an amazing side deck card at the moment, but definitely when the game slows down 100%, if Xyz cards continue to be the primary focus, which obviously they will be for at least a little while, by a little while I mean like a couple of years or something at least, and this will continue to be good because it is like a free Divine Wrath, and the condition for using it really isn't that difficult. It's just an opponent's Xyz monster is using the effect by detaching some material. That is not difficult to beat at all. So yeah, that's pretty good. Then I'd just say there's super reprints of Kagato Kage. Like, a few things. Kagato Kage is probably the most playable one. So if you want to get that super reprint, get that. And Photon Lizard as well. Everything else is pretty bad. It's like a Zubaba Knight or whatever. But if you're collecting, then that's pretty cool. Then there's this. Number 54, Lionheart. 3 level 1 monsters. Its effect is this face-up attack precision card cannot be destroyed by battle. When you take battle damage from battles involving this card, inflict battle damage to your opponent equal to the amount of battle damage you took. If this card battles an opponent's monster during damage calculation, you can attach one Xyz material for this card. Your opponent takes any battle damage you would have taken from that battle. So, oddly enough, this can actually get you game a lot of the time. Say they have a face-up like Dracosac or something. Then you have your 3 level 1s. I don't know how you would get your 3 level 1s, it really depends on what deck you're playing. If you're playing a level 1 focus deck, then you could just overlay them all into this. Attack. They would take 2-5 from the first effect. And then you could detach and inflict another 2-5. So that's 5k. Like, that's not something to take lightly. So this could just randomly do that, I guess. This is just one of those cards that can randomly end up stealing games. The only problem, I guess, is that it's 3 level 1s. I mean, how often are you going to find a good deck that makes level 1s that can make this? I can only really think of like Monarchs or Piper or something that'll be able to take full advantage of this. But there is like the heroic challenger stuff. I didn't look at all of it. I looked at some of it, and some of it is actually pretty good. Not like for now pretty good, but I mean, say everything gets destroyed and some really good rank 1s come out, then it might be pretty good. So I don't know. If you play rank 1s, then definitely get this. Stick it in your action deck because it's alright. Then this is really just for Dark World. I guess it's a Dark World toy. It's 2 level 8 monsters. This effect is up to twice per turn during your main phase 1. You can detach one Exceeds material from this card, then target one special summon monster your opponent controls, destroy it. Then if it was an Exceeds monster, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its original attack. So the idea with this, I mean, 2 level 8s, so Dark World's the only really deck. Sorry, Dark World is the only deck that can really make it. But say your opponent just has a bunch of stuff on the field, then you can just go into 2 Graphers pretty easily, go into this, pop their stuff, burn them, and that'll be a day. I mean, it's just an extra thing to stick in the action deck if you're playing Dark Worlds. So, yeah. I don't think it's relevant to anything else really, besides like Chromoly, whatever that deck is. Chronomaly, I don't know what the hell it is. Then number 49, Fortune. This is actually legit. It's 2 level 3 monsters. During each of your standby phases, gain 500 life points. This card cannot be targeted by card effects. If this face-up card would be destroyed, you can attach one Exceeds material from this card instead. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, target 2 level 3 monsters in your graveyard, shuffle them both into the deck, and if you do return this card from your graveyard to the action deck, you can only use the effect of number 49, Fortitude once per turn. This is legit because of time on the round. I mean, the fact that you gain 500 life points and then you can just stall out and it can't be targeted. This is actually a really good wall, just generally. Think about like elemental dragons. They can't big eye it, they can't Draco sack it, so they're going to have to try and just like put 3 dragons on the board and attack it. And even then, like, it bought you a turn. Then after that, you get to shuffle your guys back into your into your deck. Sorry. So you know, if you like made it with Tour Guide or something, you get to shuffle the 2 Tour Guides back into the deck. Crane, stuff like that. You can shuffle them all back into the deck, and then you get to stick this back in the action deck. So you only need to run 1 of this in the action deck, just because you can keep recurring this. So yeah, and then you keep gaining 500 life points if it does stick around in each of your standby phases. And there really isn't a lot of Xyz effects at the moment where you gain life points. So the fact that this is an Xyz effect that gives you life points in like a pseudo magical android kind of way, that is pretty cool. And a couple of other things. I mean, it is an Icarus attack target. I don't know why that would be relevant. It probably isn't. But I mean, if you think about Crane being an Icarus target, this being an Icarus target as well. But that's completely irrelevant. I think the thing that really lets it down is its stats. 400 attack, 900 defense just makes it a lot worse than Wind Up Zen Mains, which is really what you would compare this with. And like Gachi is a similar type of wall, but obviously that has a lot better stats. I really think that they should have given this like an extra 1000 defense at least. It's fine to have low attack, but really like uh, this would have needed better stats. But it's still really good. Well, it isn't really good, but it's pretty good. So I'm gonna pick one up. It's pretty cool, and it will actually work, I think, in a slower environment. And obviously, there's that time on the round. As soon as you see that time is gonna be coming up in a few minutes, you just go into this and just stall. You gain your life. I mean, it's stupid, but it's gonna happen. Like, this is actually pretty good. Then you have this, which I don't want to talk about at first, because I don't want everyone thinking that I was like terrible or something. I have saved the best till last, by the way. But the reason why I brought this up is there's 3 level 8 monsters. You can detach one exceeds material from this card, draw a card, and reveal it. Then if it was a monster, inflict 800 to your opponent. You cannot conduct a battle phase. The turn you use this effect. You can only use the effect of Coach King, Giant Trainer, up to thrice per turn. That's why I brought it up, because again, like Dark Worlds, really. I play Dark Worlds a bit, so this is just to tickle my fancy. But say you have 3 Graphers or something, and for some reason you can't attack. I don't know. It's just the fact that you can use this effect 3 times in the same turn. So you don't even go minus for going into it. You exceed into it, and that's technically a -2. Then you just detach 3, draw 3. You get to burn them a little bit if there's any monsters. So then overall you +1. And then obviously you're using Graph as a exceeds material, so it's not like you're taking a minus anyway. You can just summon and bounce it back, stuff like that. 2800 is pretty bad, considering that it's 3 level 8s. You'd expect better stats, but yeah, I'm not saying this is good or anything, but it's just interesting. It's of note. And if I was playing Dark Ones, I'd probably just stick in my action egg. Like, why not? It's Upstart Goblin on crack. So although yeah, 3 level 8s is obviously really situational. But I mean, a lot of people still run Neo Galaxy Eyes Photon, and that's 3. Although that's for a different reason. But it isn't impossible to go into this at all with Dark Worlds. And if there's any other level 8 decks, I don't know what is out there. Then this, Equipped Engineer. Its effect is once per turn during either player's turn, you can detach what exceeds material from this card. The target will face up attack position once you control, change it to face up defense position, and if you do, it cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects this turn. 2 level 3 monsters. So we were just talking about 14 Tune being a good wall. This is like a really, really solid wall. It can be targeted by card effects, which is like really its only weakness, but the fact, I mean, it can target itself, so you just bring this out in attack position. 1800 attack is okay, so you're just attacking stuff, and then if they try to do anything that would kill it, just detach, change it to defense position, and then it can't be destroyed by battle or by card effects. So again, it isn't better than Zenmain's, and it probably isn't better than 14's Tune either, but it is still good. It's good in and of itself, so it's something to probably make note of. I mean, the thing with all these cards is like literally every card that I've listed at the moment, besides Box of Friends and Princess Cologne, are like £1 each tops. Like, these cards are not expensive, and that's why I'm saying to pick them up, because obviously if like 14's Tune and this were like 10 each or something, then I'll be like, no, that's a bit much. But it's the fact that they're all really cheap, and the thing with these cards is like they're really cheap now. If you buy, say, 1 at £1, like, that's not a bad investment, and if you wait, then something will probably come out eventually that will make them better and more valuable. So that's why I'm saying to look at these things. It isn't like, oh my god, these cards are so broken. Like, nothing I've discussed thus far is like actually legit. It's only the last 2 cards that I've saved to last for a reason that are genuinely going to be legitimate stuff in the meta, but everything else is like you should just consider it, because it will, some of the things at least will probably go up. I think that like 14's Tune and Heraldry Record are probably like diamonds in the rough, I guess, like hidden gems that will eventually rise. Um, so yeah, this back onto this. It's okay. You might want to pick it up. That number 85 crazy box. The thing that stuns me about this is that it is so cheap. Like, I literally have a binder full of this card. Solely this card. I have an entire binder full of it because of how cheap it is. Um, it's insane. Like, it's 2 level 4s, 3k beat stick, dark, and its effect is continuous. This card cannot attack. Once per turn, you can detach one exceeds material from this card, roll a 6-sided die, apply the result. 1, half your life points. 2, draw a card. 3, your opponent discards one card. 4, negate the effects of one face-up card on the field to the end of this turn. 5, destroy one card on the field. And 6, destroy this card. Bless me. Yeah, so 1 and 6 are bad. Obviously, you aren't going to be using the effect a lot. Like, I use it sometimes, either for a laugh, like if I'm playing with my friends, for a joke, or there are some situations where, like, none of the effects are bad, and there are some situations where you get that, but the main reason why this card is good is obviously because it's an Eradicator Epidemic Virus target that you can just have in your extra deck. Like, it's 2 level 4s. Everything makes 2 level 4s. And then you just go into this, and then you just have Eradicator. So pretty much every deck now has an extra deckable out to Prophecy. And that's huge. That's insane. I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't think that Prophecy is a bad deck now or anything. It is like, oh my god, Prophecy is terrible. Of course not. Prophecy is still, like, up there with Chaos Dragons. What about Elemental Dragons? It's still Prophecy and Elemental Dragons. Like, nothing comes close still. But the fact that this is around just means that a lot of other stuff gets up to its level. Something that I've been testing out with a lot at the moment is gadgets. But the rank 4 version. So you have like Hagato Kage. And the reason why is because you can make easy Shockmaster, you can make easy Abyss Dweller for dragons, and you can main deck a lot of stuff as well. Main deck techs and stuff to out some of the stuff in the meta, but primarily because of this, because now Prophecy, which would have been like probably the worst matchup for a lot of these decks, is now a good matchup because you can main deck Eradicator. Being able to main deck Eradicator and everything is so huge. So yeah, and the thing is, this is so cheap at the moment. I know in America it's like $4 each, but in UK it's this is cheap as hell. So honestly, like, pick this up because it will go up 100%. I'm willing to bet my professional reputation on it. This card will go up in price very soon. Oh, another thing, like a niche thing, is that it helps skill drain decks because it can attack on a skill drain, and also it makes dragons siding skill drain a lot worse because they primarily side it for like Evil Swarm and Prophecy, but mainly Evil Swarm. And then Evil Swarm can just go into this. Then again, the 3000 attack, they have nothing that can really get over it. So yeah, this is like really good. So buy it. Then number 74, Master of Blades. This probably isn't worth as much as people are making it out to be, but it is really good. During the player's turn, when a card effect is activated, the target's face-up card, you can detach one exceeds material from this card, negate the activation. If you do destroy the card, then you can destroy one card on the field. So 2/7 attack means that it can't be Draco Sack. It can't be run over by Draco Sack or Big Eye. And obviously they can't use the effects of Draco Sack or Big Eye on it. So it's pretty good. The problem is that it gets run over by Blaster and Crimson Blader, amongst other things. So really, this isn't like the be-all end-all card in the mirror match, but it is something to have if you're playing Elemental Dragons. It's definitely something to stick in your action deck, and that's why it's got the like hype that it has. But yeah, just keep that in mind. If I was a Dragons player, I would definitely pick this up. So yeah, that's it. Hope you enjoyed. hope you go out and buy some of this set, because there are some cool things here. And yeah, any questions and all that, let me know. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, and I will see you soon.